Welcome to Airgun Hub, and today we're going to be asking the question, are cheap shooting backpacks really worth the money? So, let's look at the situation. You need a backpack, you'll need something to put all your gear in, but you can't afford a Viper backpack or a 511 tactical backpack, so what do? Well, you look on eBay, you look on Amazon, and you see these nice cheap backpacks. 10 quid, 15 quid. But are they worth it? Well, this one right here cost me about 11 or 12 pounds all in. Don't get me wrong, I'd have loved a Viper backpack, I'd have loved a 5.1 tactical backpack, but at over 50, 60 pounds for the basic models and escalating up into 100 pound plus for the bigger versions of these bags, I haven't got that sort of money to spend on a backpack, or at least not at the minute anyway. So, for the sake of 11 or 12 quid, I took the dive, went on eBay, and I bought this. And the question is it worth the £12, or should you just save your money and go for something a bit bigger, a bit more expensive, and something with a brand name? Now, obviously the old saying goes, usually you get what you pay for. So, you pay the money, you get a top quality item. You pay cheap, you get something that's okay, but does it really last as long, and is it as good quality as the higher end products? Well, I've been running this backpack now for a week or two. I've took it out a few times with me. I've got all my gear in here that I need, and I can honestly say that for the 12 or 13 pound or whatever it was I spent on it, I will leave a link in the description, that it's definitely worth the money. We'll have a quick look around it. I'll show you a few different things that comes with this backpack, all the different features, and then we'll just have a look inside of what I take out with me on a day-to-day shooting, or what I like to keep in this backpack. So this is in like a woodland sort of camo. You can get different colours from the person or the supplier who sells these. You can get tan versions, you can get snow versions, you get digital, you get camo, you get all different types of patterns. But obviously this time I opted for the woodland style digital. The reason being, I do like the tan colours normally, but for me, if I'm out with all my gear on and I've got this slung over my shoulder and I need to duck in some grass because I see something, you know, a bit of game or vermin that I'd like to shoot, then this is going to stay nice and concealed within the long grass or the tree or bush or whatever that I like to dip into. So for me, although I like tan, this was more practical for my what I need. So there's plenty of pouches. We'll go through the pouches now. On the front here, there's a couple of small pouches. You know, one here that's maybe 6 or 7 inches, and then a small sort of 2-inch by maybe 4-inch pouch on the front there. Everything's held in place by nice lovely clips. These are plastic style clips, and they do hold really well. They're made really well. They're solid. They don't feel like they're going to break. I know some cheap items feel like they're really cheap plastic, but these are really secure. Also on the sides, to help keep everything in place, is little straps that can be pulled tight or loose depending on how much you've got in there or how little you've got in there. Obviously if it's not full, you might want to pull these a bit tight just to keep everything contained. Again, really well made, easy to loosen off, easy to pull tight however you need it. My one bugbear with these is the quality of the zips doesn't seem to be that great. This one's not so bad, it's got a lot of movement, but this main pouch one is really, it feels really cheap, and it snags every now and then, and it's not that easy to close if it snags. But for the sake of, say, 12, 13 quid, you know, you can deal with that, you can live with that. This should hold out. I can't see why they wouldn't hold out. It's just the snagginess, and I must admit they do feel cheap. On the back, we've got nice shoulder straps. The strap itself, or the padded part of the strap, doesn't extend all the way, as you can probably see there, to the top, and it is connected by a strap. Now, I'm not keen on these like D-ring design loops. I have found that one of the reasons that I bought this backpack for myself was I wanted to put my little 3-litre dive bottle in there, so if I'm out plinking, it's an easy way to put it in here, sling it over my shoulder, and it's just an easier way of carrying my bottle. Now what I did find is, because the bottle was so heavy, these were slipping. Whether it would slip if it had a normal clip design, or maybe one like this on the back, instead I don't know, but I did find that these were slipping. So one thing you can't really do with this bag, or this one in particular, this size in particular, is overload it with weight. You overload it with weight, you're going to start slipping, and the last thing you want to do is be walking through the field and these give way, slip through, and it falls on the floor. If you've got anything in there like a bottle that may take a ding or break, it's the last thing you want. So I wouldn't recommend putting anything too heavy in here, as I'm just personally not fond on these little D-ring style, loop style straps. Now, moving down, you do have like a chest brace that you can clip in place if you wanted the additional support. That clips in and alters depending on your size and stature. Down at the bottom we do have a clip. Now this might have been better toward the top and might have helped keep everything in place. And again, toward the bottom here we've got another plastic loop, which again, why they didn't put that towards the top and use them there, I'll never know. But you know, cheap, you know, that's what it is. Down at the bottom yet again, there's a strap that you can put again across and use to help support it on your back if you need to. Now on the side of this bag, if I just move if we can unclip this and move it out of the way. Do you know what, let's leave it there. There is some loops, lanyard loops, if you wanted to slot anything down through these to hold them in place you can. Obviously I've got my Mora knife clipped on there and that holds that in place nicely. The general fabric is very tough, it's hard wearing, it's not tried to see if it's waterproof yet. I've not been out on the radar, I've not tried to sort of pour a small amount of water on it just to see if it is water resistant. But the material is very, very tough, very, very strong, so it will withstand any snags. If you were to catch it on a bush or a thorn bush or anything sharp that's potentially going to tear the material, I think it would withstand this very, very well. Obviously again on the front you've got some loops, whether you want to slot a pen in there, or maybe if you've got a field knife you'd like to slot in there, or anything like that. There's plenty of loops. There's two there, there's one on the front and then one on the rear as well, so you've got plenty of places to attach things or affix things if you've got anything that you want to keep externally. Now, not the camera, sorry. There is a little bit of padding on the back here, so when it is on your shoulder, it does make it feel a little bit more comfortable on your back. It does help if in that first slot inside you do keep something that is square or flat, and that obviously will keep a nice flat surface against your back, which then helps with comfort. There is another pouch here that you can open up and slot things into, but I haven't slotted anything in there, and so there is a bit of padding there that helps with comfort on your back. Apart from that, that's the general consensus on the outside. Obviously the size of the insides we'll look at as I take all my gear out and talk about the gear I keep in here. Firstly, externally, I've just clipped my laser rangefinder on here, so I've got my Hawk laser rangefinder, which is then nice and easily accessible should I need it if I'm out and about. That's clipped on with a nice little lanyard clip, so we'll just take that away. And then the only other thing externally, as you've probably seen already, is a little Mora heavy duty knife, just in case I need to use that in the field, and then that can be slotted and kept easily on the side of the bag. So we'll open her up, we'll look at the main pouch itself, and we'll talk about what's in here. Targets, we always need targets. Nice little cleaning kit for barrels and everything in case I need to clean that. Not something I really need to take out in the field, however, it's a nice place to store it, it's a nice and easy place to store it. Pellet trap in its nice little box just to make it easier to carry. It's a bit battered now, so I do need a new one, but pellet trap again for my targets if I'm out plinking. Loads and loads and loads of paper targets of every description in case I need to have any other additional targets to pin up. And finally in this pouch, another cleaning kit, Bisley cleaning kit that's got gun oil and everything, and a little pull, my homemade pull through. This is a shotgun cleaning kit, but I have got obviously the one I've shown you prior that's for air rifles, but I use it because it's got all the gun oil stuff in it to clean all the bores and everything out. So that's the main pouch. As you can see, plenty of room in here. Another little webbing inside, so if you did want to slot anything in the webbing, you can. But obviously that's the main pouch, that's the one that's got the most room in. So, we'll go into the second pouch in the middle. So if we can try and open this a bit more. And in here, the only things I've got at the minute, Snappy Targets. Who doesn't like Snappy Targets? I'll leave a link in the description to these guys if you ever want to get anything. Let's have a look what we've got. So we've got little strip targets that can be pinned up anywhere, different styles. There. What else have we got in here? Oh, business cards. We've got their pellet drop targets with stakes, so they can be staked in the ground and check your pellet drop. Have anything else in here? Nice little tin to carry the pellet drop targets in. So that one. And then in this Snappy Targets bag, we've got the traditional Snappy Targets. So we've got little rabbits to shoot, little wheels. Obviously, these are laser cut and laser scored, so when you do hit the numbers, they easily break. We've got the bigger wheels for a bit more fun. Pin these up, and you've got loads and loads of targets to shoot from. And then we've also got one of these has been shot, the dueling tree. So it's a two-person game, and it's the first person to shoot all the targets out. So there's that. That's all I've got in the middle pocket, but we'll look inside the middle pocket again. Little pouches inside, if you want to keep anything separate from anything in the main pocket. In the top zip here, a little bit of rag for when I clean all my barrels out that goes along with my cleaning kit. And then finally, pouch on the very front, this larger pouch on the front. We've got a pencil case. Not a pencil case, as you can hear inside. Plenty of tins of pellets of different assortments that I use out in the field. Nice easy way to store them, so if you ever want to steal that idea, that's entirely up to you. Pencil case cost me about £2 off eBay. Just a cheap thing, but it contains all my pellets and stops them rolling around nice and easily in there. And then just an Allen key set, so if I'm ever out in the field I need to do anything with the scope or need to take the rifle down for any reason, take the stock off, I've got a nice Allen key set that I keep in there as well that comes in handy. That's it at the minute. That's all I carry around in my little field bag. It's so I've took it out a few times now over the past couple of weeks, and it served me well. It's comfortable. The straps hold out well with this gear in, so you don't put anything too heavy in there. But overall, for 12-13 quid, you really can't go wrong. Whether it will stand the test of time is obviously yet to be seen. Would this outlive a Viper or 511 Tactical? Who knows? I can keep you guys updated on that, but as it stands at the minute, I can't see any reason why this won't last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows years, if it's looked after and not chucked around too much. So yeah, if you liked what you saw, if you enjoyed this video, as always, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, drop us a comment, let me know what you thought, and if you haven't subscribed yet, drop us a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.